Lockdown day 28. Can you believe it? That's like nearly a month. It's quite insane.
It's been a while.
Sure, it has been.
The beard's growing out. I look all
Relaxed.
bearish.
All bearish. So last night, Sarah Pauser gave a speech about how lockdown is going to be phased out and real life is going to be phased back in. It was a really good speech and it's a very well thought out plan. But I think, unfortunately, what the speech is going to be remembered for was Sarah Pauser at the end of it wanted to put on his mask because during the speech he'd explained to people how they should all be wearing masks. And he had a mask in his hand that he kept like fidgeting with. And one time he held it up and he put it back down again. And then he planned to, obviously, at the end of his speech, put his mask on and then leave. But he fumbled it terribly, poor man. He put it on this ear and then as he was putting it across to this ear, it came off this one. And then he tried again. And then I guess he just went for the quickest route between ears, which ended up with a mask across his eyes. And people are so quick. I mean, within minutes, Facebook was flooded with memes about this poor man looking like a Ninja Turtle and you name it. So I'll put a few of those in because they were quite funny. But he's got a good sense of humor because he responded today in a TV interview by saying that he's going to start his own TV channel and he's going to teach people how to put masks on. So he handled that beautifully.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm hoping the speech gets remembered for all the important things.
Yes. So the phased lockdown or the phased releasing of the lockdown. So
Unlocking.
Yeah.
Up.
The phased unlocking.
There you go.
Has 5 stages or 5 phases. We're currently in phase 5, and that's the most hectic, restricted one. You know, you can't leave your house except for essential things. Smokes and booze and a lot of things are unpurchasable, and
level 5.
Essentially, that's it. You stay at home unless you need to eat food or you have a medical emergency. Level 4 allows for some outside exercising, and we haven't got all the details yet. I think they're going to release it next week sometime. Each sector is going to talk about it, but. Yeah, you can do a bit of exercising. They're allowing the sale of some previously prohibited items. Some industries are going to start to open. But it's going to be like, I can't remember the exact amounts, but he said like a third of the workforce can only go back to work.
Like that,
you know, so there's going to be phasing not only of companies opening, but of the amounts of employees that any company could have at any given time in relation to the size of them. So it's all about social distancing. Government did use this time, and it was now confirmed by the president, not to stop the spread, but to slow it or to give them enough time to prepare for it when it does hit us. So there's no false pretenses that they're under that, you know, we've beaten this thing. They're very well aware that this thing is still going to hit us very hard. And that's what all this was about. Anyway, back to that. And as we go down the phases, so like phase 3, phase 2, phase 1, it gets less and less and less. Phase 1 is very close to normal life, except you still have to practice social distancing and
wear a mask,
etc. And things like cinemas and churches will still be closed. Unfortunately, I think throughout the remainder of this pandemic, I don't think there are going to be any gatherings like churches and
theatre
and things like that. So,
and then they said, obviously, it's going to be different for each province because some provinces have very few incidences and some are quite hectic. So unfortunately, officially, as from today, we are considered the epicenter of this pandemic in South Africa because in the Western Cape, we've got the highest number of deaths and the most number of infections. So I don't know that we're even going to go down to stage 4 yet. I'm not sure. They said they would evaluate it closer to the time, but officially it's a week. Today's Friday, and next Friday, stage 4 is supposed to start. Hard lockdown is supposed to end.
Schools aren't starting.
No, not anytime soon. Apparently on Monday we're going to hear from the Minister of Education. So let's wait for that. But I think we are, because we're the worst hit, we're probably the last one to be phased down. So there's lots. I mean, I think it's a positive, sensible plan. It makes sense to have different levels.
What's nice about it is that it's fluid. So there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
like every week we'll review.
Yeah.
They can at any time. See, we as a country are used to something called load shedding, where that had stages, and different stages would mean different zones and different times. So we're used to this concept of during a certain time the rules are going to change, so to speak.
Yeah, with load shedding, they would announce just before load shedding that now your power is going to be off for 2 hours. We kind of got used to being that flexible.
So that's kind of, South Africans, we're used to the concept of load shedding, so we can call this lock shedding.
There you go.
So I mean, it's kind of it's a similar concept.
Yeah. Also known as leading. And we've got different masks today that hopefully people with glasses can read. So I saw on our neighborhood group a lady advertising shields, and I see a lot of the staff at like Woolworths and places. Oh, it's only place to shop. A lot of the staff at Woolworths were wearing these. Here we go. Turn sideways, check it out. So, I mean, for a glasses person...
I can't bite my shoulder anymore.
I know, it's the cone of shame.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I tried it on with my glasses and it fits perfectly. Although it doesn't rest on them or scratch them or touch them, and it doesn't fog them up. So, yay, a solution.
It's a decent quality. It's got plastic clips over here, and this is just a perspex. But
it's like the riot police shield for your face. And it's less, even though it looks quite dramatic, it's much more comfortable to wear than a thing that presses up against your nose and mouth. You can't talk properly and you can't actually see. Bite your stitches out. Anyways,
it's really okay.
I think it's at least a solution for a glasses person.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we have
it. There we go. So
that was 50 rand.
28.
So it's not bad.
There you go.
45. I don't know. Somewhere in between.
It was 45 in your mind. Anyway, anything else you want to say?
That I love you.
No, I mean, anything else about the pandemic or lockdown? Anything else?
No.
No, okay.
You're beautiful. You're
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so that was day 20, what is it? 8?
28, yeah.
Still going strong. It's the weekend. Although it has felt like the weekend for the past month. But
for a change, we're going
to
put our feet up and watch a series.
Well, Friday night, maybe not. Got popcorn and Astros. Hale and hearty.
A little insight into our weird Friday nights.
It's okay. Why not?
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.